Alrighty, good morning everybody. Let's see what I'm gonna do here. I want to try and record probably one of my most favorite hikes, and I think for most people who like to go hiking in the Lehigh Valley, I believe this to be the best hiking trail in the Lehigh Valley. The Palmerton Gap, the Lehigh Gap, Pennsylvania, 60 miles north of Philadelphia. To my left, I think they call this the Blue Mountain. Yeah, I think this is the Blue Mountain. The Native Americans called it Buka Buka. Something about butting up against each other, because the Lehigh River cuts through over here. On the left side, you probably can't tell from here, but a lot of people, they call it the Devil's Pulpit. There's a rock sticking out. It's like a pedestal where you can preach. And the red, I guess there's a sulfur content in the rock or whatever it might be that gives the rock color. I'm just going to take it easy on this trail. Hopefully this thing's recording everything. You know what? I think I'm going to just take another quick check. Yeah, I think it is. And let's just see if it does it. I just want to record this. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe in my old age I can look back and say, yeah, I did this. Oh, it's probably the 2000th time I've done it. We're going to go up there. We're going to do the up and over. You're going to go up this trail. We're going to go up this trail. The Appalachian Trail. And then I'm going to come down the Blue Trail. They call it the Winter Trail there. Comes around. I don't know how many miles it is. It is what it is. I call it the Up and Over Trail. Like Private Pile from Full Metal Jacket. Up and over, Private Pile, up and over. I'll take it nice and slow. Well, that's a good excuse for me to take it slow. I'm 240 pounds, so I take it slow anyway. But nice and slow. Maybe the camera don't bounce around too much. It's I think it's 7:10, 15. Sunrise supposed to be 7:20. It's December 17th, 2022. Hallelujah. It's almost Christmas. Jesus, birth of Jesus our Savior. Think about him all year round, of course. But this is usually a special time of year for most people. They kind of kick it into high gear a little bit extra. Good tidings for one and all. So, it's Christmas season. And we had some snowfall 2 days ago, I believe. And then the afternoon, it turned into rain, washed a lot away. But I'm sure when I get to the top of the hill, there'll be more pockets of snow. So, Appalachian Trail, Lehigh Valley. In my opinion, the best trail in the Lehigh Valley. Why? Well, well-maintained trail. Usually good traffic, so that's a safety thing. It's nice. But more so than that, it's a good incline right now. So it's a workout, you know. And then you come down. Well, let's see what happens here. A little fork in the road. Going to the left is not going to go nowhere. Don't get fooled. Go to the right. There's the white mark on the tree. That's the Appalachian Trail. All right. Hope my breathing doesn't get too loud. It is what it is. I'm not in the best shape of my life right now. Maybe someday I should cut down on partying. Whew. Yeah. Good tidings to you. Well, and Christmas cheer all year. All right. Oh, suddenly felt a little burst of light. I think the sun could be peeking up and over the horizon somewhere. Little burst of light there. Illumination. All right. Do-do-do-do. All right. Yep. This trail will get your blood pumping for sure. Hey, sun's cracking above the horizon. I'm sure my rooster, Georgie, is clucking away. I left him a little dish of food. He'll be happy when he ends up on my porch. Whew. Yeah, a transient rooster showed up last month, and he's been kicking it at my place. Well, I feed him. You know, he was obviously domesticated. Who knows? Coyote or something chased him out. He's looking for a new home. He's an immigrant without a visa. So far I took him in. Not inside the house. No. I built him a little chicken coop. Well, he didn't go in. I think he's traumatized. Oh, whatever. But he likes it outside. He lives in the trees. I got tall pine trees near my house. And he actually hangs out up there. Nice and safe. That's what he does. I think that's where the name Rooster comes from. Roosted in the trees. Shocked me first time I seen him up there. I always seen him in a chicken coop. Chickens out in the yard. I'm like, what's he doing in the trees? Yeah, that's where God made the animals, and that's what they do. And then humans, well, we domesticate them. All right. Yeah, you know, a couple years ago, I've been doing this trail off and on for 40 years, all over the place, but this one, a couple years ago, they made this bank off to the right. It's going to intersect the original trail. Look, they even painted it white because it is kind of a gentler slope going up. But I stick to OG. Well, you know, as much as I can. The old Marine Corps philosophy. Even before that, I just like to torture as hard as I can. You know, if you're gonna do it, do it. Oh, speaking about that, go big or go home. I know, sounds crazy, but I invented that phrase in California back in 89, 90, San Luis Obispo College. I remember I invented it and said it. Spread it around, everybody started saying it. A couple California media people in school. Whatever. Good for you. Go big or go home. Whatever. Well, I'm going up and then I come down. So, what goes up must come down. Unless you're Elon Musk and you fire a rocket playing David Bowie, you send it up and it just keeps going off to the sun. That's something else. Yep. But for us earthly dwellers, I got gravity to contend with. Oh, that reminds me of a really cool jetpack video. Somebody ascended the mountain, like in big mountain somewhere in Europe or wherever. It was cool, you know, good for rescue. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things in 2022 and such. A lot of good technology. A lot of good things in this world. What's good? Well, you guys gotta have the bad to say what's good. Hey, the birds are up. Just noticed that. Probably my big mouth woke them up. Well, what do you want? I got a rooster named George. I call him George. He wakes me up at 4 o'clock every morning. So, it's payback. Payback, birdies. Oh, yeah. All right. Up, up, and away. Oh, getting brighter in the sky. I'm trying to not move my head as quick. I forget once in a while that I jerk it around. You know, trying to create a stable video platform here. Woo! Get some. All right, well, if you took the OG trail, like I said, that other trail that's a little bit, well, a lot less steep, but 3 times longer, you'll end up right here, you see? And going down, so you can obviously tell, you know, people, mainly hikers, you know, they got heavy packs on their back, and whoever hiked here, they know what it's like for the next phase here. It's kind of a little tricky, especially when you have a pack on your back. You got to be careful. You got to be careful at all times. This is the Lehigh Valley. Don't like to mention bad things, but there are rattlesnakes. There's black snakes. I forgot the other name for a black snake. But if you ever see one, don't kill it. Black snakes eat other snakes like rattlesnakes and copperheads. But you just gotta watch, you know. And I've been doing this 40 years and, well, honestly, I never did see a rattlesnake here. Other people did. I seen one up in Jim Thorpe. I took him out. Well, he struck at my friend walking along the fire trail. But whatever, that's another story. But here, no. Oh, you know, speaking of Jim Thorpe and that snake, I remember when I would hike up there used to be a couple elderly gentlemen. They'd walk around. Once in a while they get together and they walk around with handheld pistols, shotgun loaded shells, and, well, they go out and clear them out. You know, just like our forefathers here, they took out the mountain lions, the grizzlies, all kinds of predators that hurt the humans, you know. And speaking of that, I kindly ask everybody who's a dog lover, when you come on trail, please use a leash. There is a good percentage of people that have a fear of dogs because they got bit and mauled by them, and they don't trust anybody's dog, and that's just the way it is. So hopefully dog lovers learn to have some respect for other human beings, you know. But this is the age where everybody does what they want to do, rub it in their face. Sex, drugs. Okay, I'm stopping right there. Just want to stick to the dogs on a trail. Don't want to get into politics. I got enough videos of that. That's for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, today's just up and over private pile. Look at that, huh? Here, sun's coming up over there. Yep. All right. Up and over private pile. Up and over. Well, what are you waiting for? Up and over private pile. I will motivate you, private pile. Even if it short digs every last cannibal in the Congo. That's from the movie Full Metal Jacket. I came out of infantry school, 0311 Marine Corps, in 86. And that movie came out in 87. Well, I give it a thumbs up. It was fun. I loved it. It's kind of like Mike Tyson says, you know, everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. You know, everybody's built. You don't know how you're going to react till you're in it. Well, whatever. I had a great time, you know. But I was never put in battle killing other people, so I can't say that would be great, but, you know, I guess sometimes it's needed. Right, Mr. Sun? Coming up again, huh? 365 times a year. Thank you, God in heaven. Yep, thank you for the breath I take and every step I take. All right. Well, obviously you can tell this is all rocky. And if there's snow on here, you gotta be careful. Other than that, it's just a steep hill on this side. You know, take your time. Every step you take, enjoy it. And just look around for snakes in the hot summer months. And like I said, 40 years I did it. And I never seen one. And I'm sure, you know, with such traffic on this trail, people took them out. I know I would if I see them, you know. You know, there's kids come on in this trail. You gotta protect. You gotta protect. Nature's out here. Mosquitoes will bite you, and so will the snakes. All right, that's enough of the snake story. It's cold now, and I don't think well, I don't think the snakes are out now. So, woo! Let's go. Let's go. Goes that way, but I was always used to this way. Just straight up. Like the. Of course, when I was younger, I usually even a much straighter trail. And now I use sticks, and I love them. Shepherd staff. Absolutely love these things. Woo! Well, back to the snakes. In the summer, you can probe in front of you. But I tell you, why use 2 legs when you got 4? And I'll tell you, I had a shoulder problem for years. I don't know what they call it, rotator. I never went to a doc, but it always hurt. I did a whole summer of chainsawing like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on trees, and I heard something. Then I started using these sticks, I don't know, 2 years ago, and I'll tell you what, it rehabilitated it. And I'm not Mr. 100%. I'm 57, but I like to try and do the things I did. Woo! Definitely not the same speed. I'll go hiking with my son once in a while, and he's kind of quick. But I just throw a little bit of weight in his backpack and let him resemble my weight. That's my excuse. And, you know, that'll slow you down a little. So, besides, I'm filming, man. It's Hollywood. Up and over, Private Pile. Sir, yes, sir. All right, here we go. We're on a run. A little run. Up and over. Up and over. Getting a little windy. Always does up here. Seems to be blowing from the east. Southeast a little, I don't know. Because I tell you, normally it's calm coming up the hill, and if there's any wind, it comes from the north up here. As soon as you hit this little ridge line here, oh, that's when you feel the wind. But the wind's on my backside right now. That's all right. A little chilly. But I tell you, when you go up this hill, you're not complaining about being chilly. I feel a little bit of sweat already. Alrighty. So, right at the ridge line, get a little tricky. Be careful. Not too much snow here. I was anticipating snow on the top. I don't see it. So, here's Mr. Top. Mr. Top, Devil's Pulpit shining in the sunlight. Lehigh River, Mount Buka Buka. Mountains butt up against each other. Blue Mountain, South Mountain, last mountain ridge you can see. And they call this the Lehigh Valley that sits in between. That's what it is. So here we go. Here we go. Yeah, let's look at that. We gotta look at the American flag. Hallelujah to America. Land of all people. Trying its best to bring us all together. Ooh, okay, in Jesus' name. All right. All right, here we go. That's pretty much the steepest part. The rest isn't so bad, really. You know, going to the top. And I'm gonna keep going here. And it's gonna come down there, zigzag a little. The winter trail, they call it. Or blue trail, because it's painted blue on some spots. And that's the plan. I call it up and over, Private Pile. Up and over! All right. Well, I normally babble when I hike. Occasionally I like to let out a yell, Tarzan call or something. I'm going to do that up there. And my main reason is, well, besides clearing out the lungs, well, just in case there's predators, you know, let them know you're coming. Give them a chance to get out before you spook them. It's not really good to walk quietly in the woods. You gotta remember the woods is their backyard. So you come through with respect, and respect will be given. All right. And we're going into a little bit of snow here. A little bit of snow. Frozen H2O. Oh yeah. It's gonna snow, ho ho. Right here in Dixie. Oh, it'll be white. Oh, there's the cross. Yeah, I'm singing a Christmas song, huh? Christmas cartoon. Year without a Santa Claus. Ah, well, God forbid that. It's nice to receive a present from a loved one. Blessed is that person who painted that on the rock. All right, here we go. All right. Here we go. Appalachian Trail. Yep. Here we go. Yep. Little jerky here. I'm trying to walk through here smooth, like a smooth operator. Hopefully it comes out. Oh, this is an Android S22 phone. Thought I'd give it a shot. I got a GoPro, but I detest the way it breaks up all your video into 11-minute segments. Yeah, I know it's meant for GoPro and, you know, and video shots of that length, and it's perfect for that. But I sure as heck am not gonna do this whole thing in 11 minutes. And I still haven't figured out how you stitch the videos together. I don't know, you know, I used to be really good at internet, schminternet. The older you get, that's enough. What do you gotta keep up to the day you die? Well, you try. All right, here we go. Enough blabbering. All right, blabbermouth. Let's go. All right, blabbermouth. Isn't that Jackie Gleason, the Honeymooners? Ralph? Mr. Blabbermouth. I got a big mouth. Yeah, me too. It's probably all the years of hiking, yelling like Tarzan. I just happened to develop big mouth. And I'm also of Mediterranean descent. That's probably racism, but people say us Mediterranean people yell a little bit too loud. It's just a stereotype. But I'm definitely known to be told, tone it down a little. Why are you yelling? Shut up. All right, here we go. Shut up. I said, hey, 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 Baba Reba. All right, here we go. We're on a run. Here we go. Lots of fun. Oh yeah. Feels good. Sounds good. Aha. Here we go. PT. Hey, there's the sun. Look at that, shining that mountain up. There she blows. Moby Dick. Call me Ishmael. Here we go. All right. See the white dash? That's the Appalachian Trail. All right. It's nice to have evergreen trees in the winter. They stay green with the backdrop of that which is not anymore. The leaves fall down. I always love the evergreen in the winter. You know, it gives it a little bit of life, color. Beautificus. Yep. Yeah. Well, no big rocks. Still go up a hill here and there. Well, it's all uphill here actually, but it's not much of a hill. See, what's this? That's coyote? Something? Oh, what do you want? This is the woods. Born in the woods, raised by a bear, a double set of dog teeth, a triple coat of hair, 2 magazines, and my M16. I'm a lean and mean. I'm a U.S. Marine. Huh! Oh, you know, I got to give that up for the veterans. Whew. Some people don't like when I say that. Well, get out there and make a better world where you don't need the military anymore. Because, well, you know, because this is not a political hike. So shut up and sally forth. Sally forth. There we go. Now you can probably see a little bit of the trail outline over there. I'm gonna go over there and zigzag my way down. Woo! That's what I'm gonna do. All right, so, oh, trying to keep it steady. Yeah. Remember the old movie Kung Fu? Used to walk on rice paper. Don't leave a trail. Sometimes I think about it. Then I stumble over a rock. Yeah, movies are movies. Movies are great too, aren't they? Inspirational. Woo! Everybody's got something to say. Give everybody a chance to say something. Someday you'll have a chance to say something. Whew. Today, I'm just trying to say this is probably the best hiking trail in the Lehigh Valley. Well maintained. Usually good traffic, but hey, in this day and age, you should always carry your cell phone and tell people where you go anyway. Well, people already know. If you can't find Uncle Sam, well, he's probably hiking the trail. So, give him a couple days to think about it, they'll find me. See what happens. I love this trail. Anyway, let's left, right, left, right through it. You know, I was gonna sing back there to Heat Miser, but this is the Cold Miser, Mr. 40 Below. All right, there's the first sign of some kind of track. Oh boy, yes. Looks like coyote, little coyote or something. Doesn't look like Mr. Rabbit. He's looking for something. They don't got a refrigerator in the kitchen. It wasn't so long ago people were like that, and there are still tribes on planet Earth that is like that. So humanity is not united and to reap the benefits of global technology. Woo! We're still battling in the woods. Yeah, it could be could even be bobcat. Somebody had a video of a mountain lion, extremely rare. You know, they all got shot a long time ago, before us, a century ago. I mean, what do you want? You want mountain lions running around like California, killing and attacking the people? Morons. It's amazing how the animal rights people, we went too far. But how do you know too far until you go there? There you go. I got political again. Okay, here we go. I can't help it. I'm a human being. Well, let's just look at this evergreen white snow. Isn't this beautiful? I don't know. I find it to be beautiful. You know, my best hikes were Rocky Mountains, Canada. I'm sure they got them down here, but I like when they have a gondola. You do your best, you hike up, you get a great workout. I think it was in Banff or Jasper. They even got a restaurant at the top. You have a hot bowl of soup. And then you come down the gondola. You know, you don't need to beat up your bones that much. You go up, get a good workout. Yeah, I always said to myself a long time ago, if I ever hit the lottery, I'd put a gondola here. And for all the people who don't like gondolas and technology out there, well, think about the people who can't even do what I'm doing. I don't know, right? Some people like to get a view at the mountaintop. Whatever. And I've been trooping all my life, and I'd rather run up the hill as fast as I can and take the gondola down. Woo! And I'll tell you what, when I was a little younger, man, I would sprint down that hill. I am not boasting. I'm just saying youth. Woo! Thank you, God. Yeah. I even had that chance because I got that memory. Just blast right down. Woo! Now I'll stick to the trail. It's all right. Everything's in phases. I used to wear a diaper. Who knows? Might end up in that again. That's the way it goes, huh? Is that political? I don't know. Social? Woo! Whatever. Those are funny little footprints back there. What kind of little creature was that? Alright. I wonder if the animals walk by and say, and they look at my print, and they say, what the heck is that? Yeah, until they get used to the human, you're like, yeah, he's sniffing it around. You know, imagine a coyote born, he comes out, he's near man, he's tracking trails, you know. It's Papa and Mama Wolf, or coyote. They're teaching their youngin', hey, this is this and this is that. And then you see man, and you're like, well, we better get out of here. Yep, that's right. Because we're nothing but food to them. Yeah, that's right. You show weakness out here in nature, you will be taken out. I don't like to say that, but, well, I do got a story walking through one time, coming up a steep hill. I was hunched over, so I looked small. And above me was a really big fox, about 20 feet away. Because when I lifted up my head, I was completely shocked that he was that close. He must have been just standing there looking. And I seen his teeth. And I was hunched down and I was really hurting. I was like the fourth time I was going up and down this hill, steep hill. I come down to the bottom, I jump in the river. Matter of fact, well, it's down this river about 10 miles. No, not that far. 5 or so. Anyway, up and down, maybe been the fourth time, and I was really hurting. So I look hurt. I was hunched over, and he was above me. And when I looked up, I could just tell he had it in his eyes, like, is this possible dinner? And I sensed that. It didn't even take me a microsecond. You know, I flared up like a peacock. I yelled like a caveman. Woo! And he went running like a criminal, seeing the cops. Back in the old days, they don't seem to run nowadays. But back in the old days, you know. Whatever. Yeah, man. It's no joke. I pity the people out west with these stupid grizzlies and mountain lions and animal rights activist people. Oh, there I go again. Shut up. All right, here I go. Anyway, the Appalachian Trail continues here, straight. But I'm gonna go exit stage left, like that lion in the cartoon, because this is my turnaround. You know, this is kind of the top of the mountain, but it goes a little bit more, if you say the absolute top, but I'm going down, and this is my traditional spot for Tarzan. So there's Tarzan. And here's the blue trail. See, I see a little bit of blue, or they call it the winter trail. Well, I guess that's because, could you imagine all this snow on those rocks over there? You got to be careful. It's no joke. You know, well, you be careful, you take your time. Hey, everything will be okay. See, it's pretty much the tippity top. You know, whatever. That was kind of like my, both sides of this mountain are my favorite mountain hill. You know, it's close, 20, 30 miles from my house. You know, somewhat. Drive up here. It's nice. It's nice to have hills. It's nice to walk up a hill. Let it hurt a little bit. Yeah. But boy, you sure do appreciate when you get to the top. I remember I took a friend to the Grand Canyon. Woo! Boy, she cursed me all the way up that hill, the Grand Canyon. And I was hurting too, but, you know, I know what's at the end. So anyway, after all the pain and the cursing and the yelling and the whatever, you know, trying to get up there. It's a tough thing. Grand Canyon, go down the K-Bob Trail, up the Bright Angel. I tell you, when she got to the top, woo, it was like another level of life. She just absolutely loved it. And I'm glad that I was able to offer that to a friend. She really loved it, and that made me feel really happy, especially after being cursed for 5 hours going up the hill. But no, you know, that's the way it is, you know. Pain comes gain. That's the way the creator of the universe built us, all creatures. In school, hey, you got to study. In the gym, you got to work out. Yeah, I know, I'm talking common sense. All right, here we go. See, I'm done with the hill now. It's nice and smooth, you know, flat, and I'm going to start descending, so probably not going to breathe so heavy. Yeah, it's really nice here. Real nice. All right. Let me try my best to, as I come down, not to bob. Hopefully this little headband strap, I just bought a headband strap as opposed to the GoPro strap because I got my Android S22. It's supposed to be a really good camera, and I did take some good shots already. It is a nice camera. I got video stabilization on, and hopefully it kind of makes a nice picture for everybody. And you know, honestly, I mean, I'll enjoy it. You know, there was once a time I sprinted up and down this hill, and now I don't sort of do that. And who knows, maybe there'll come a phase where I can't do the trail, so I can look upon this. But I wanted to offer this video as something. If you come, you want to do the best trail in the Lehigh Valley, here it is. And you want to talk about that little thing, that's from the other side of the mountain. You just stay on this blue trail. I mean, you can come up and come down, but I would say it's far better to come up the Appalachian Trail because it's tricky. And coming down this is pretty much real smooth. So again, you know, I always found this trail to be a real blessing. Really good for you, good to open up your lungs, good to come out and think and, you know, relieve some anxiety, life's pressures, you know. And so but some people don't know what it's like, and you know, but you just need to be shown what it's like. And once you see it one time, well, that's all you got to do is show any human being, you know, just show them, teach them and show them, and they'll take the baton and they'll run with it too. So maybe others could come out here and enjoy it. I'm just going to say it one more time, and you know, the dog lovers, please bring a leash. I don't know, you know, I mean, whatever, I'm just going to keep it at that. But I'm sure dog lovers don't like snake lovers. There's all kinds of people. I just don't believe the creator of the universe wants to have pets in our homes. All right, I'll keep it right there. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. All right, let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And we're descending now. Hey, what goes up must come down. Oh yeah. Get some. I like to yell "get some" a lot. It's a Marine Corps thing. Comes from that movie Full Metal Jacket, I believe. I get that crazy door gunner out of the helicopter. You know, that guy was actually slated to be the drill instructor. But Gunny Hartman, I don't know, I can't even think of his real name right now. I apologize, but he's up there in heaven saying, you know what, I want to be remembered as Gunny Hartman. And he won the part. And I would say that people would give him a high five and a thumbs up because he did a good job at it. Yeah, I know. You know, it looks brutal. I mean, I had a great time in boot camp, Marine Corps. Some people didn't. Matter of fact, I got a family member, had a hard time. Well, let's just say we're not all treated equally, and prejudice can suck. And that's enough for that, but not everybody likes the military. So again, you don't like the military? Go do something about it. Go make peace on this earth. Well, I don't want to get political, but I'll get religious since I just said it. Growing up here in America, you want to get married? Yeah, let's just say even the justice system. You go to court, you got to put your hand on a Bible. It's a book. Hey, that's the official thing. For you to deny it is for you to be a rebel. Unless you can come up with something better. So, in Jesus' name, the only way you're going to bring the world together is in the name Jesus. That's my opinion. I'm not rubbing it in anybody's face, except on YouTube. You know. Ooh. Well, you know what? It's nice to talk. What do you want? You don't like me talking? You know, just mute it and put the music on. So, I'm going to simply say, free speech. Yeah, right. I remember I did an experiment for fusion. Finished it in 2007. I tried to go on the internet and say it. And you're mocked like a moron by the scientific people because, you know, that's just the way it is at first. I guess that kind of makes sense. You got to go through the battle. But I also would say, and this is after a complete decade of, well, I like to say I'm a messenger. It might be arrogant to say that, but just look at yourself. As soon as I would say I'm a messenger of God, you're going to say to hell with you. No, you're not. So you're just as equally as arrogant in saying I'm not, you know, because you decide who is and who isn't. So that's kind of like my point. We're all equal. Every man's a king and every woman's a queen. So I would say I was a messenger back then in 2007 when there was MySpace. There was no Facebook really. And boy, did I tell you, the people come out of the woodwork and chop me apart, boy. Called me names. They said, how can you believe in the spaghetti flying monster? I never could understand that. A lot of people said that to me. Made me hungry most of the time. Kept thinking about spaghetti. Boy, I like spaghetti mixed with meat sauce. You know, that's really good. I'm getting hungry now. I think I'm going to make spaghetti today. You know, I'm like, well, what's this spaghetti meat sauce? I used to think of the smog monster flying around on Godzilla. You know, like, ooh, the big plate of spaghetti flying around. Or the invisible man in the sky. I don't know. Delusional, stupid, moron, you know. After a few months of that, I turned into a, I don't know, pretty ugly dude. I mean, I kind of had fun. You know, I got high hair times, you know, so I was always altered. That is definitely the truth. And that definitely got me in trouble in life. Probably led to my divorce, breakups, work, you know, being a little under the influence. And, you shouldn't say the things you should say. But in reality, you should say it because it's the truth. But you don't say it tactfully, you know. Instead of saying it this way, you said it this way. And that makes all the difference. So, all right. I guess that was it because I just wanted to say something on behalf of Jesus. Because every day I wake up, I'm grateful for life, my breath. And I thank the creator of the universe who put this planet here. Somebody did this. Something in the universe. Woo! And I'm here breathing it. And I educated myself enough to realize there was a lot of generations before me. And someday their breath will stop. So out of respect for everything before me, knowing that my breath is going to stop too, you know, someday. And I'm going to join them. And I'm going to give respect to you before I meet you. Yep. Oh, that's my thinking. Anyway, here we go. Well, I mean, I could ramble on and just keep singing Christmas songs. I used to be really good at it. I used to know all the Christmas caroling tunes. You know, we used to go door to door as a little kid. Well, it was fun. We liked the songs. Yeah, you make a couple bucks too. You go to the mall and you buy some gifts. I know, we were terrible at sometimes. Growing up in the 70s. If you didn't tip us, we tic-tacked and snowballed your house. Oh, which reminds me, there used to be a hill called Snowball Hill. Little tiny hill alongside the road, about 20 yards back, maybe about 50 feet up, elevated off the road. And the road had an intersection 50 yards away, so the people would turn in. So we got the cue. We knew when the headlights come around the corner, everybody load up, get ready. And then you got pummeled. Haha, that was so much fun. Snowballs. Snowball Hill. So I told somebody yesterday, or 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago when it was snowing. I said, I think I'm going to revisit Snowball Hill and maybe bomb a few people. I don't know. You get older, you get childish again. Reminiscing. And I'm serious too. I do want to bomb a car. I don't want to bomb a cop car. And I don't want to hurt nobody, but it's safe. Trust me, people. It's approved by the State Board of Snowballers. You don't pack an ice ball like some knuckleheads, hard. No. Nice fluffy snowball. Makes a nice sound off the roof of your car. What's with us human beings? Even as a kid, you got to do stupid shit, crazy stuff, picking on people. I don't know. We're all nuts. I don't know. God made us like this. I don't know what to tell you. All I know is the next snowfall, I'm going to bomb somebody on a snowball. I don't care. Where is it? 11th Street. Right off of Ray Street in Catasauqua, Pennsylvania. Next snowfall. Show up. Come down Ray Street, come up Ray Street, turn on 11th. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to bomb you. All right, whatever. All right, I'll probably watch my house is going to get pummeled with Tic Tacs and snowballs. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Woo! All right, I got to pay attention. My head can't be jerking around too much. Got to make a video. Trying my best. I'm giving away my mischievous behavior. Yeah, all right, Lehigh Valley, okay. So, man, probably a lot of people like, so you're the bum who bombed my car back then. Hey, we're talking the 1970s. 70s, man. Maybe a little bit into the 80s, And then I kind of grew out of it, of course. Which is the fear of the cops. You don't want to get, then you get older and you're like, hey, what the hell? Hey, you got to put that on the bucket list. Reminiscing. Yeah, whatever. All right. See, what are you going to do? You go up the trail, you come down the trail, you got time. Yeah, if you're with a friend, you could talk about things. But if you're alone, yeah, you think about all sorts of things. And these are the things that go through my mind. I'm going to bomb the cars. Yeah, I guess I really put myself in a corner now. I think I'm going to have to wear this phone on some snowy night, and just to show you what it's like to bomb you on Snowball Hill. Woo! Get some! Yeah! All right. Let's see. See? Well maintained. They put some steps here and there. A long time ago somebody did that. The Appalachian Club people, there's a hiking club. They get together and do wonderful things. Oh, I never did that. I've always been a solo fella. I've been hiking this mountain so much, and I do it by myself, day or night. But I'd love to have somebody, friends. Yeah, but they whine too much, and they don't like to go at night. So, but a lot of people, hey, get a friend, join the hiking club. It's right across the street, too. There's a hiking club down there. I remember when I first started hiking, it was people who lived in that house, and the hiking club people, I think they bought it in the 90s. They're a great organization. They help maintain the place. They get together, they do hikes. It's a beautiful thing. I'm a solo guy. It's just the way it's been. Been like this 40 years, but it's far better to hike with someone, safe. share experiences. You're not sitting there in your own mind formulating a plan how to bomb snowballs on people's cars. You know, well, whatever. All right, here we go. We're going to be almost even with the Devil's Pulpit. We'll get a good look down here, I know. See, you can see a little bit, you know, when the leaves are down. Yeah, it's a rocky place. A lot of the hikers, the through hikers that do the Appalachian Trail, they come through Pennsylvania in this area. They know it to be a lot of rocks, you know. But this trail, well, besides the way I came up, but it wasn't so bad. Take your time. If it's not snowing and icy, it's not a problem at all. And then you see it coming down. It's a nice trail. But there are other areas here in Pennsylvania. It's just, it's tough. However, I heard this Palmerton Gap, Lehigh Gap, they say the Appalachian through hikers, well, they never forget that little steep ascent. Or if they go down it coming the other way, they don't want to take the extra mile or two going down this winter trail. You know, they just rather beeline that. They just figure, well, why not? Shortest distance between 2 points. And then they'll always remember that steep little climb I did in the beginning. All right, here comes a little opening here. I'm gonna, let's see, it might be a little nice clear view. The first clear view of the infamous, they call it the Devil's Pulpit. Straight across right over there. There's a rock, you can see painting on it. Devil's Pulpit. I'll tell you, my favorite hill is right there. Hamburger Hill, I called it, in memory of the veterans of Vietnam. They had an ugly hill they used to try and fight up in, slide back down. Because the rocks on it are real slippery. You take a step, you slide back down. You don't really slide down anymore, because I'll tell you, after 40 years of hiking that thing, I kind of dislodged every rock. I'm not kidding. Well, I mean, especially if you take my trail. So, that little thing there is my little trail, and then I got a little hideout up there. I got weights. I lift weights there. I don't think I've been there since the summer. You know, that's just how it goes. I've been taking this easier route up and down this trail, and it is a nice trail. I always had that one. It's kind of tough. Nobody goes on it, and it's the steepest thing around. You know, Devil's Pulpit, people used to go up there, and a lot of people fell off that thing. I highly advise be very careful on the Devil's Pulpit. So, that was that, and this is this. Oh, look at this. I don't think anybody was. That's yesterday's. That's yesterday's droppings. Yep. Here we go. Oh, and I love sticks for coming down. I just love them. You know, I mean, I feel things a little more. You know, in the old knee department and other things. I mean, I come down and oh boy, I used to sprint full speed. I think back then I was around an average weight of 220, 25, constantly all my life. And that kind of weight, yeah, but I can't do that now. I'll feel it. Woo! So I come down with Mr. Shepherd sticks, and I love them. I love it. And like I said, it rehabilitated my shoulder. I think they're a great thing. Good for probing in the grass. What's before you? You know, look at that. See? You don't know. I had a good friend, like I said, Jim Thorpe. He took off his shirt, and at the same time he took off his shirt and it went down on the side. It struck right at the shirt. If he didn't have the shirt, it probably would have been his leg. So we took that snake out, and he's got it hanging on his board in his house. So, you know, whatever. You're out in nature, you got to look. But a lot of times, I'm on a trail now, but a lot of times I just go right through here. I go right through there. That's what I do. And in the summer, it's very thick. So I kind of like to have the sticks to kind of pre-probe. You know, whatever. I think the sticks are good for so many things. Woo! I'm 6'2". These things are only about 5 foot. I wish I had a little bit longer. These sticks, a little bit long, but it's the longest ones I could find on Amazon, the internet. I did look all over. I bought a couple different pairs, different kind of oak. I think this is a heavier one. I love these ones. They're a little bit heavier. You know, hey, if you're gonna do it, do it. I used to use a gas pipe once, big heavy duty steel gas pipe. Oh, that was a workout. Yeah, but then the shoulders said, no, you can't be doing that anymore. Nope. You can't do that anymore. But these sticks, that's just right. You know, I don't know what kind of view this camera's getting, but there's some tricky areas, and it really helps balance. Yeah, probably all the young people say, yeah, you're nuts. You don't need nothing. Yeah, maybe that's probably in my younger days. I didn't give a damn about it either. Yeah. I gave a set to my young nephew. I told him, why not? Try them. I'm telling you, get used to it. It builds your arms up and your shoulders. Why use two legs? You're going up the hill. Take advantage of it. Pump it up with the other two legs you got. You know? So, whatever. So, if I can kind of bestow anything upon anybody from what I learned in life, this trail here is an awesome trail. Sticks, I think they're great. Everything else, take it with a grain of salt. Just don't mean to disrespect anyone and some of the things I said. You know, everybody has a life experience and makes you form it that way. You know, and if you turn the other cheek to somebody you don't understand what they're saying, you turn the other cheek and try and, you know, just to think about what went through their head, what makes them say that. You know, everybody got a different way of seeing something. Oh boy, there we go. See, there's a little tricky coming down. This little spot, and you know, without these sticks, I tell you, it's just more jarring on my legs. So I do this, it kind of less. Well, I'll be straight with you. Without the sticks, I would feel it for a couple days, a little bit, you know. I would, a little bit, but I don't feel it at all when I come hiking. I mean, I just feel the muscular part of it. I don't feel the strain in the bones, the knees particularly. I don't feel it. These sticks have alleviated that. Well, at least these past 2 years. See how many years I can get out of that before they do it. You know what I'm saying. So, well, maybe that could be another thing for people to think about if you go hiking, but you know, you find that it kind of bothers you coming, you know, the knees. I tell you what, woo, they help me out. They help me out. Okay, we're getting some traffic here. That's the town of Palmerton around that bend. Sometimes they call this Palmerton Gap. People waking up. Start the day. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Yeah, it's my new thing lately. I got a rooster. He's been hanging out in my house lately. You know? About 4:10. 4:13, right around there. I don't know. He's got his Swiss watch or something, but he's on time. He kind of yells, then he kind of shuts up after a couple minutes, strikes up again a little later, and then before I know it, he's on my porch. You know, yelling. Well, hey, I feed him. You know, shows up on my porch. I take care of him a little bit, and he knows it. So I guess he's grateful. He's a good. I could see the people, the love of pets and animals, no question. But here I go. I'm going to say it again. A man of God. We've got to put more emphasis on people, because people are limited. You know, I had to eat a little bit before I came. I knew I'm going to go up and down this hill, drink a little, eat a little, have some energy. You know, I'm a finite being. I only got so much energy. I can only yell so much. I can only love so much. People are limited in anything. And that's the way I look at it. But I think God put us through a period of excessive pet loving to show well, how loving you can be. But you gotta see, you know, it's done so to something just like George the Rooster, you know, I feed him, you know. And maybe out of all that loving of a pet, you'll see that a lot of people got hurt in them. Well, they need to be taken care of because they got pain. That's the moral of the story of that. So I don't want you to think I'm a pet hater and a dog hater and, you know, whatever hater. But most people will call me that. Yeah, and well, whatever. So that was it. That's the winter trail or the blue trail. Now I'm back on the base. You know, it used to be a railroad track here. Used to be a railroad track down there on the bottom. Yeah, look, there's a railroad track on this side. Used to be a railroad track on the bottom on that trail. They turned it into a fire trail or a walking trail. Used to be a railroad track up top there. So there was like 4 or 5 sets of railroad tracks here running through when America was a major industrial beast. You know, that's the way it is. But I remember being a kid. You know, places like Pittsburgh I drove through, or certain Johnstown, I think it was. A few places, you know, I mean, I live next to Bethlehem Steel, and yeah, you see the smog, you see the smoke, and I remember seeing some towns like that, and well, I guess Asia's like that now, you know, trying to get away from that. So maybe one thing about deindustrialization is not as much, but well, there you go, blabbing away. I'm going to try and shut up about that. All right, let's go look at Mr. Smiley Face here. Mr. Smiley Face is happy about everything. He's just happy all the time. He's happy. That's a good start too. That's the star. Hey, boy, he used to be just all smiles, and he's still all smiles. Yeah. That's my favorite hill. Well, I'm just gonna keep going this way. Keep recording it. In case there's a novice or somebody wants to try that little loop, the up and over private pile loop, call it what you will, just so that you're familiar with it. Because when humans are familiar with something, they're not as timid or apprehensive about it. So here it is, you know, kind of a little bit of a spring, gets a little, well, it gets a lot of wet down here in the summer, but tall grass grows right here, but not right now. It's all the tall grass is gone. And we still got water flowing, you know, it comes out of the ravine there, whatever, crevasse of the mountain runoff. It's pretty much constant all year round, much more in the spring, of course, but stays about this level. That's why it's so green and thick right here. Constant source of water for the plants all year round. Yep. Yeah, there's something about water, right? Water is life. It's nice to catch a little bit of water and the sound of it. Okay, so here we come. You can start to see fence material they started putting all over the side of this mountain. Well, I guess rocks would tumble. Cars are down here. Probably caused a few accidents and injuries, and well, we do our best to prevent that, like taking out the predators and naturally falling rocks. What are you gonna do? So they put steel mesh. I used to come flying up this. This used to be the way I'd come. My son and my nephews, they still like to do this part. Something about the rocks here and go blasting up that way. But like I said, I keep it easy on the trail nowadays. I used to always joke I never did a trail. I hate doing trails all my life. Yeah, I take the steep ones, take the hard ones. Anyway, yeah, I used to go up that way. Boom, right up there. But you know what? In the 90s, that hiking club and whoever, they do some good things, but they started flying around here, putting these trees all over the place. They start seeding it. You know, I mean, the whole state's covered in trees. You got one little section bare. You used to love it. It used to remind me of the Rocky Mountains. You know, the Rocky Mountains, you go to 9,000-10,000 feet, called the Alpine Forest, stops around there. Nothing really grows. Nothing but rocks at the top. And I liked it. The view, the openness, you can see what's going on. That's one thing I got a bitch about a hiking club, those guys. They stuck too many damn little trees and bushes. And the reason why I don't like them is I used to love going through there, but you know, where all the rocks are, that's where the snakes are pretty much too, and you know, you gotta watch it. Yeah, they ruined it. But oh, that was another thing. I'm probably gonna bomb the place with napalm if I ever get rich and hit the lottery. So I'm gonna put a gondola and I'm gonna bomb this mountain with napalm. I'm not gonna ask for permission. What's the old saying? Just do it, right? Ask for forgiveness later. Yeah, whatever. You know, okay, I'm joking there, all right? I'm joking. Not really. Just tell me if you disagree and tell me where you live. On a snowy night, I'm gonna come and get you with a snowball. Oh, Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah too. Tomorrow, the 18th, starts the annual celebration for the Jewish people. You know, bring the words of God. The Jewish people help create Christianity, the next level. I always looked at it, an advanced form of something magical created America. Islam out in the desert, they believe in Jesus. Beautiful thing. They help their Ishmael brothers help create a lot of beautiful things. So anyway, holy time of the year. Hopefully, oh, look at this, huh? Yeah, baby, look at that. Oh, look, there's an American flag up there. Oh, I'll tell you how people are something else, aren't they? Somebody climbs on that and they put it. I think yesterday I was watching some guy free climb on a video. He's going up El Capitan, Yosemite. No rope, no nothing. Amazing. I'd like to say, I'd like to say, look at that, Misfits. It's the band, the Misfits. Dave, I forgot your last name. Walk Among Us. I know Mark Bergsman was part of that. Dave Vanderslice, I think. And another fella back in the 80s. Look, it's still there. They rappelled down, and they did that, and it's still there. I love you guys. I miss you guys, too. I don't know what's up. I haven't seen you guys in 20-some years, 30 years. You know, we come and go, and then we rendezvous at the end. Yeah, in the clouds of heaven we rendezvous. Well, look what they did here. Look at this stuff. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the statistics are of rocks falling down there. Personally, I would have did something else. So I could, because this here, I got so many favorite hiking hills. Oops, excuse me. Right here, I will go zooming up this way. Because this was extremely wide open. Bam! Steep. Woo! I mean, you can still do it. You know, you go around the cage a little bit, not a big deal. But again, when they started seeding the place and dropping trees, you can't go fast when it's in snake territory. You gotta take your time. And they spoiled it for me. But that's okay. You know, you just go, you go plan B, plan C. There's always something else. After you're done bitching, you're doing about face, you go somewhere else, and that's the way it is. Because the purpose of this thing was, well, to prevent injuries. So that's how you prevent the injuries, and you know, and I hope it works. I hope it worked. So that there is the Palmerton Gap, the Appalachian Trail. On the other side of the river, you walk across that bridge. The Appalachian Trail starts there and zigzags and goes down to Georgia. Down Georgia, the devil went down to Georgia. I'm just thinking about that song. Georgia, and I guess going this way up to Maine. I think it's close to two. I forgot. You know, I don't know. 1,600 miles. Oh, that's something else, huh? 1,600 miles. Every year, people like to do that. That's something else. God bless everyone. I'm appreciative just to do the daily hike like this every once in a while now. Woo! So if you got nothing to do on a, you know, you're free one day, you know, gear up a little bit, bring a friend, take your time, try out this trail. I think it's a nice trail, and I hope I showed you that it's really not that bad. You know, it's well maintained. Right? Yeah. Like I said, that's the hiking club. They took over that house. Well, the house used to be on the left side. You could tell it's an old house. And then they added on to it. And then somebody lived over there. I think he sold it to some guy about 5 years ago or so. I remember the old guy there since the 80s. He never liked us parking over there, and we'd walk. We would only walk a little bit on his land. Boy, he always yelled at us. I don't know. I thought the guy, he should have put up a hot dog stand. He should have did something. He'd probably be a billionaire now with all the traffic. Instead of cursing everybody, he should have flipped it and reversed it. Whatever, you know, sometimes you don't take advantage of the opportunities in front of you. You know, like that hiking club guy did. He bought that and he turned it into a very successful operation. Turned a lot of people on to hiking. You know, people, well, you need a place to congregate. Somebody's got to start it up, get it together, and then they follow, right, Mr. Costner? One of those guys, I don't know. Build it and they will follow. All right. I'm running out of things to say and I'm babbling. But here it comes. Last little 50 yards to where you turn left. Coming this way, turn right. Up the Appalachian Trail. Looks like I'm still the only vehicle in the parking lot. I came kind of early, but I can assure you on a Saturday, that parking lot will be full. And Sunday. Oh yeah, it'll be full. Woo, but you know, I got a rooster who lives by my house now, and he wakes me up all the time and tells me to get up, give me some corn, give me something, shut up and get going, start your day. So there it is. That's it, baby. That's the Appalachian Trail. Beautiful trail. And there's somebody here. Looks like they got a bike. Yep. All right. Well, that was it. I'm going to shut this thing down. It's Christmas season. Merry Christmas to everybody. Take care. God bless. Signing out.